team. I'm going to do a quick teardown today of our app versus ChatGPT, just on the chat function itself, not our Synthesize tool. Sometimes we get the question, well, can't ChatGPT just do this for you? And so I want to get a really good handle on what we're building versus ChatGPT. Of course, we only are pulling from municipal data that we have pulled into our area and then laddered correctly. So we are gathering city, county, state, and national codes, and then we're making sure that you're pulling the right information from the right place through those thousands of pages to get the answers to your questions, while ChatGPT is searching the whole internet to give you an answer that I think is useful. So I am going to go through and pick a city. I will go with Manhattan Beach today. And I will say, all right, let's just go with this first preset question. Of course, in the future, I'll ask other questions. But what are the setback requirements for residential area? Whoop, that was quick. I am going to quickly grab this question and add it in here and add in Manhattan Beach, California. As you can see here, we are pointing out all of the different zones. So a residential zoning here is RS, RM, and RH. They have different allowances, and then we're calling out the specific setback requirements. So that means how far your house or other structures can be from the edge of your property. So we have minimum side setbacks of 10% of the lot width, not less than 3 feet. And then we have other requirements for RM and RH with exceptions for each of them. Same with rear setbacks. We do some calculations for them. That's nice. And then with area district information specifically. And then front setbacks, we also have a bit more information. Interesting that Manhattan Beach is so oriented toward a percentage of the lot. Much more common is usually number of feet versus percentage. We also have additional information here, and then if there's specific information for accessory structures. And then we put it into a nice summary, great. And then we tell you where we pulled this information from throughout their municipal codes. It looks like we really were just looking here at the Manhattan Beach Municipal Code, not at county, state, or international codes. They must have gotten very specific, as we can see, about what their needs are. Already here at ChatGPT, you can see it's just a prettier experience, honestly, and it is much more visually appealing. However, it doesn't get into specifics around zoning. We can really just see they're looking at area districts, but that's not specifically zoning that is required here. Okay, and it looks like they are also just referencing 2013 information, which Manhattan Beach has definitely made a bunch of updates since then. So that is curious to me. And they have some additional considerations, but a lot of this is old. It's nice. They say like, hey, make sure that you ask people questions or go specifically to the municipal code. I'm going to check this municipal code out in a second, but I'm going to give it a chance on zoning. So what are the zones, the residential zones? Zones of Manhattan Beach, California. Also provide descriptions. And it is, again, searching the web, which is, you get a lot more information, and it's nice. It gives you some visuals. I don't know that elementary school attendance area is useful, but nice to kind of get a sense of the overall visuals. And then they do explain here what the different zoning areas are. Interesting, their sources, but good to know where that's coming from. And we did get some zoning information directly from Manhattan Beach this time, so that's great. I don't know why this New York blog is something that we're referencing, but they do have some information here that you can get more information from the zoning themselves. So that's good to know. But we're kind of a little off on our sources. And they are referencing the Muni Code, which is a typical place for people, for cities to put their information. And I'm assuming what they used was the current information because that is what's here. I'm assuming that they didn't go through any of the older information and supplements. So at least now you can go and quickly see specifically the information you're looking for, although it's not giving me a specific location. One thing that we are working on is deep linking the specific code information so you can click into it and go to the directly to the code that you care about to learn more. And that I think will really help the experience. ChatGPT has really attractive experience and it's nice to be able to click in and learn. So that's something we need to think a bit more about versus the austere, detailed, accurate information, but not necessarily as friendly. Cool team. Let me know what you think. Thanks.